the Tubers High Score Challenge on this very, very hot Sunday afternoon. Sitting inside today with the curtains closed, trying to keep the bright hot sunlight out. I spent this afternoon mainly trying to get my run sorted on this game, Tinkle Pit here, which is the game for this round. Tinkle Pit by Namco, 1993. It's kind of like a mazey, sort of Bomberman-ish type game, but also sort of very, very different from that at the same time. The scoring in this is fantastic. There's lots of different ways to get points. There's the obvious way of killing enemies, that gives you a few points, but then also as well, if you collect all the items, in this case it's apples on the set of stages, then you get even more points, and you get a bonus if you collect all of the apples. What happens as well is kind of like there's up to 3 items which appear on the screen at any time. 2 of them are sort of like the fully fledged versions, like in this case 2 apples, plus you get sort of one sort of like as it's growing, or like a smaller item like a mushroom. The smaller one sort of grows into a big one once you sort of like collect one of the larger ones. It almost sort of cycles through like that. So the key is like to try and sort of like wait until all the items are sort of fully grown and collect them, and then you get a perfect score at the end of the round. But back to basics though, in terms of the way the game plays, it's kind of like you've got this ball thing, which if you hold down the fire button, it kind of like leaves it in place, and you sort of like leave off sort of like a wire train behind you, and when you let go of that, the ball catches up with you, sort of knocking out everything in its path. So those are the basics anyway, and sort of, flying through levels. What happens as well is very important is with the first wave of enemies which appear on any given stage, if you wipe them all out in one sort of like one ball, then you get a flag which drops down, which gives you first time you do it, it's 10,000 points, and each stage you do it cumulatively, like without without dropping any. Like you get another sort of like 10,000. So this is the 4th consecutive stage I managed to do that, so I got 40,000 points, which is a huge boost to the score. So the quicker you can rack that up on the early stages, the better, really. What some of this is kind of like, particularly with the early levels, just down to like route memorisation. However, the computer could be a right pain, and it's just do random things sometimes, like. Sometimes there'd be a power-up which wouldn't appear, and I couldn't work out why. Also as well, sort of, sometimes, particularly on this level, like one of the dragons would sort of stop in a certain position and sort of breathe fire onto me instead of going around its course like it's supposed to do. So can never sort of like guarantee things, even though I've sort of like worked out sort of like my preferred routes, particularly on these early levels. But as it happens with this particular run, things were going exactly to plan. I've been playing it most of today, this morning, and for whatever reason, just things weren't happening. I was getting ready to give up in a way, but I did also want to sort of just get that bit further, which I'll sort of talk about in a bit. But yeah, sort of like this is the last run I did before sort of like recording this commentary, so it's fresh off the press, so to speak. Okay, so there's little bits as well, like as just sort of dodge picking up one of the smaller items there. You just got to they appear in the same spot, so you kind of like sometimes you get caught out like by running into a smaller item if you don't know where they're going to appear. But that was a bit of, sort of forward planning there, and I've got all the enemies again, so this time I've got like a whopping 70,000 bonus, so that's some serious pointage here. Already at this stage, my nerves are sort of like beginning to build a bit, because I hadn't had a run this clean for ages, and yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for in terms of like building up my points. And I'd had sort of so many restarts before, particularly sort of during today, where I just fuck things up, or if I had a decent run, I'd sort of just go to pot after sort of screwing things up on sort of levels like this. But yeah, this was definitely so far very, very good. So also as well, like, you can pick up those sort of yellow ball things, which is a very handy sort of safety measure really. They're particularly good if you've got something coming in front of you and you need to sort of like get it out your path. And also as well, then what I was just doing is I was just taking my time, just going around the maze, just getting those sort of last two sort of like big items before completing the level. There's a lot to talk about in this game. I'm sort of just trying to rifle through everything as quickly as possible, but lots of familiar sort of Namco characters and enemies and sort of features like the little flags and things. Really interesting pickups, like power-ups, like that rock one I've just got, which causes those rocks to come down, as you can see, sort of squashing enemies 5,000 points each time. There's a lot of other ones as well, but there's also some nice little things like these little items which appear, which like little glaxing things, yeah, just like lots of different references to like various little Namco games. So it's a very sort of comprehensive sort of detailed game here with lots and lots of interesting features to it. And as well, it's fast paced. As with all the games, you can't take your eye off the ball. Keeps you on your toes, and even once you've got your routes worked out and things, it's never entirely straightforward. And as you can see as well, we've got some different enemies coming into the mix as well. We've got these kind of spider things which sort of go around, sort of firing lasers across, which sort of stun you, and you've got these kind of other things which sort of run after you and sort of chase after you, as well as the dragons as well. So it's all go. Okay, this is like the third stage. This is where I'd say it sort of starts getting particularly tricky. This is kind of like where sort of like the lives start to tumble if you're not careful, so got to be sort of quite careful. And the items have changed to these sort of coral type things as well. Generally find the best tactic really is to by this stage as well, I've kind of like given up on trying to wipe out all the enemies in one ball. Just gets a bit too risky and a bit too complicated really, even though it'd be massive points, but in a way the strategy sort of switches to survival here. But coming into this stage of the game with nearly 1 million points, absolutely delighted with that. That's exactly what I was looking for. First fuck up there, sort of like in a way sort of backed myself into a corner and sort of picked up one of the smaller items, which wasn't great, but so hey ho. Another fuck up there. Not going to be too bad myself. That enemy was particularly quick there, just caught me off guard. I just didn't quite react quick enough. So this is like first big wobble of the run here, and not going to deny that. So I'm thinking at this point, actually, it's like after such a perfect start, I really don't want things to sort of like go to pot. So it's a case of, like, as always, trying to get back on the horse as quickly as possible, and on to the next round we go. So being a little bit more careful here, what I tend to find works best is just trying to sort of hang around the junctions a bit. It gives you sort of just that little bit of like opportunity to sort of dodge out the way of things. You don't really want to be sort of stuck on a sort of like a long straight with sort of like no escape routes, as it were. You can kind of get yourself trapped, and if you've got something coming in front of you, you haven't got one of those like ball thingies, it's very hard to take the enemy out. Still possible to do it, but it's just making things difficult for yourself. So just trying to keep your options open as much as possible. Pleased with that round there. Back on track in terms of got all the big items, got that perfect bonus, and didn't lose a life. What I'm actually missing at this stage though is I've not been able to, because you lose your power-ups once you lose a life. And there's a particularly handy one, which is the shoes, which make you walk faster, which is very important. I mean, you can survive without it, but it just means, yes, it's a bit of a pain because you've always been hunted down by the enemies, and you sort of do need to take them out, sort of pretty sharpish sometimes. But another round there, 20,000 points and the perfect bonus as well, so I'm very pleased with that. So getting back into my rhythm really. And there's the shoes which have just appeared there in the middle. I got those. Yeah, trying to not pick up that small item there. Go the long way around. Get the items. Yeah, last 2 enemies. Bingo. So yeah, it's go again. I actually don't mind this level because there's only kind of like sort of 4 routes into the maze, and as long as you don't really sort of get stuck on the corner and or get taken out by. I nearly got trapped there, but as long as you don't get sort of stuck or sort of what is it? Sort of like caught out rather by sometimes those those yellow things, sort of like shoot things which go through the walls. Because the dragons breathe fire through the walls as well. But as long as you're just mindful of those things, it's not too bad this level. And plenty of time to collect all the items as well. Ooh, and that's what happens if you don't clear the level quick enough. The timeout baddie appears, which you can't kill. But fortunately, I was just about done on that anyway. So on to the 4th of the opening stages, or set of stages. Cakes have become the item of choice. I do just love the items and the graphics in this as well. Just all bright and colourful, sort of biscuits and things in the background as well. Yeah, very pleasing on the eye. Taking my time here, going a long way around. I want all those cakes, and yeah, now I've got them. Just finish off the last of the enemies here. Boom. Okay. It does take a bit of practice this game. Like, what tends to happen is like, I mean, by this stage it's kind of like I haven't got any sort of particular route planned, but there are sort of certain sort of like points in each level which I kind of like move towards, or sort of like just try and hang around. There's certain bits of levels where you can get a bit stuck, and sort of certain bits of levels where it's just a little bit easier to pick up the enemies. Didn't get all my cakes, so no big cake bonus that time, but I'm happy that I've still got most of my lives intact at this point. So yeah, on this level I've got just a particular strategy of just starting out in the bottom left and just taking out that initial sort of set of enemies. Nice power up there, nearly got caught. Nearly got caught twice. So yeah, bit of relief that didn't lose a life there again. Just about got the all my cakes just at the last second there. It's really good as well. Like I love this game the way that was damn close. With the last enemy, like in classic Dig Dug fashion, they sort of like try and run away from you before sort of burying themselves into the ground and sort of running off. So that's like, it's great in 2 ways, because it's quite funny just watching the baddie do that, but also it's just like just adds that extra bit of franticness as you either trying to take it out or sort of collect those last couple of items before the stage finishes. So yeah, really fun to watch that. And bit of an advanced technique there in a way. It's like when you launch a ball, when it catches up with you, it also sort of just hits a few sort of frames in front of you as well. So if you're if you're precise, then you can take enemies out in front of you just by unleashing the ball from behind you and letting it sort of like smack just like slightly in front of you. So that's kind of essential really when you get stuck in a corner, which happens a bit more in these later levels. It's not something you want to rely on much at all though, because it's risky. You don't really want to find yourself in that situation in the first place. But needs must, and sometimes you find enemies both sides of you, so you just got to do your best really. yeah, with this particular level, quite often I was sort of getting screwed over quite a bit, just with those robots with the lasers. But you kind of learn a couple of the spots they sort of shoot from initially, and once you sort of settle into your positions and stuff, then you sort of can clear that. Okay, now moving on to the sort of boss. I think it's like a mid-game boss, about halfway through. The funny thing is, I actually got to this boss literally on my first or second attempt of this game. My score was shit because I didn't know the sort of scoring techniques or anything, but I think it just goes to show if you just kind of like on the board enough in terms of just doing the basics, dodging enemies, then yeah, you can make good progress in this game. It's not all about sort of just refining everything to a T. But yeah, at the same time, although I did get to the boss the sort of second, third time, I was really getting stuck every time I got to the boss. On subsequent runs, it just wasn't happening. I was getting wiped out. I sort of quite a lot of, I'll get to the boss like one life or something, and it was frustrating me a bit. It's a good boss now. It's a really good boss fight, but it's kind of like I did really want to get past this boss just as like a personal milestone, really, just as just as a challenge. Today I almost gave up on it in terms of like I did have a very good score-wise run, but I hadn't defeated the boss. And I was going to sort of just post that one, but it's kind of like, I just really wanted to get past this boss. Really wanted to. It wouldn't have felt sort of quite right if I would have just like left it, not getting past it. So here I was doing my best, and I wasn't looking at the time, but I made it with 2 seconds to go. So a bit fortunate, but I was working from start to finish on that. I have done it. I did do it once before, having said all this, just on a run early today, but my score was a bit naff. And I managed to do it with like 50 seconds to spare somehow. But that one was that's close to the wire, but Mega Plus is that I didn't lose a life on it either, so that was super. Anyway, we kind of defeat the boss and things go a bit satanic, and we disappear off onto a further set of 4 stages. You can already tell by the sort of like background and things, it's going to be a bit more difficult. So the enemies are pretty quick. We've got those kind of birdie things which sort of started lobbing things which bounce over walls. I suppose they're not too much different from those other yellow things, but just that they're quick and those things sort of bounce along just make it a little bit more unpredictable. But yeah, collecting the UFOs now, and delighted to get off with a sort of perfect start on that. I'd only given the stages just like one try out before, when I'd sort of defeated the boss for the first time a few runs before, so a lot of this was like quite new. But I was delighted with my score and so far, and I was delighted that I defeated the boss as well. So it's kind of like, for me, anything from this point on was a bonus, really. I still set myself another milestone in terms of wanting to get past this sort of space level, because based on those first couple, it's like I can do it. It's not too sort of like different from what I've been sort of like playing so far. Although another life lost there, so it's kind of like ouch, like and I nearly died there as well. So it's kind of like might not make it, but just like keep going. And over the 1.4 million points market, so very chuffed for that. And just general stuff. I think I mentioned it actually. Just with the more difficult levels, it's kind of like just pick off the enemies as quickly as possible. Really, you've normally got at least one of them about to sort of close in on you, so just hang around at a junction, leave your ball there, just pick them off as they come around the corner. Okay, and you're delighted with the perfect on that one. Okay, and yeah, lovely sort of spacey background there as well. Very nice. Getting a bit worried here because I'm like back myself in this corner. I used the ball there to take out the dragon, which is right in front of me. Yeah, realised I wasn't going to be able to get all the big items. I had to get that small one, just with the amount of time I had left. But not nice bonus nonetheless. Yeah, just about dodged the projectile. Probably could have gone around and got these sort of like big items. Took my time there, but to be honest, I'm shitting it a bit at this point. Like my nerves are sort of like going, oh yeah, it's all new and everything, and didn't know quite what to expect. And sometimes when you're in that sort of like that particular zone, you don't want to sort of like screw around for points and lose a silly life, especially when it's your last one as well. And yeah, I just wanted to get past those sort of space stages. So here I was on the next round, which is kind of Egyptian themed one, and yeah, didn't see that coming at all. Just like ran straight into the enemy, but no problems really. I was delighted to get that far. So a score of 1,481,560. Lovely scoreboard as well, bright, colourful, flashing colours. Like you get a character sort of run across as well. It's either like I'm not sure which character that girl's from. Sometimes you get, I think it's the lady from Out Foxy's running across. But yeah, once again, lots of nice little touches, and on the keyboard there's like a Pac-Man icon as well. And we've got the scoreboard here. So it tells you what round you got to, how many credits. I think those symbols might mean if you got all the items, all the big items on a set of stages, then I think you get that marker. Yeah, that was my score, 1.48 million.